Okay. Hey guys, this is Stephanie, and this is gonna be my labor and delivery story. And I'm sorry that you could see like my whole house. I was having trouble um looking with what I was gonna record my videos. So well, I'm gonna start off by okay. This was February 15, and that was a Wednesday. That was my appointment. That day was I was like 40 weeks and about 3 days, and we were going to discuss that day if I was going to be induced. The next day, that was a Thursday, it was February 16th. So the thing was, I was having contractions days before, that weekend before, but they weren't that close together. And so I wasn't really that worried. I was just worried just on one occasion that they were like about 10 minutes apart, but I timed them, and they like stopped being so close and started a half hour in. Anyways, so the thing was, that Wednesday on my appointment, the 15th of February, I got up early in the morning as usual, and I went to see my doctors. That was an hour away from my house, hour and 10 minutes away from my house. That was like 6 o'clock in the morning, because I usually get up early to get early to the appointment so I could be out early. Okay, so the thing was, the doctor came in like at 10, and he saw me pretty late. They took my blood pressure, they weighed me. Final weight I was weighing, I think it was about 156. I think it was, and that's a total of like 45 pounds total in the pregnancy, something like that. Anyways, so after that, I went to wait for the doctor, and then they called me to wait some more, but in the doctor's office, where he was gonna check me for dilation and check everything and just talk in general what we were going to do and if I was going to be induced the day after. So I was just waiting, and guess what? My water broke. My water broke in his office, and it was like so funny because for my first son, my water did not break. Like, they broke the water for me, so I didn't know what it felt like when it broke by itself. It was like so weird because I was just leaking all this water out of me, and I didn't know what it was because I was laying down anyways, so it was like leaking, but just a little bit. So I just waited. I thought I was probably going crazy, or it was probably something else. I don't know. When the doctor came to the office, I told the doctor that I was leaking something. I didn't know what it was. And he just looked, and he checked me, and he was like, "Oh, I think your water broke." And it was so funny he said, okay, let me just check for dilation and whatever. So he checked me. I was still 1 centimeter dilated, and definitely my water had broken. So he just told me that he was going to give me all my papers for me to do my admission. The hospital was like 5 minutes away to the hospital that I was going to give birth in. So I, he prepared the papers, but it was crazy because I was about to cry because I didn't know things were going to happen like that. They were going to happen so quick. I had in my mind that I was going to be induced the day after, on that Thursday, February 16th. So I was about to cry because my husband was not with me. I had no one with me. I went by myself to the appointment, an hour away from my house. And thank God I brought my bag and the baby's bag. So I just did what the doctor said. I went and did my admission because my water had broken, but I had no contractions yet. So I did my admission, and it was funny because the lady didn't want to do it because she was like, "What? Your water broken? No, you can't be here. You can't do this." And I was like, "I have no contractions and whatever." I just explained to her what the doctor told me that I could do it, and she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And so she did the admission and everything, and then she was like, "Okay, hurry, go up before you give birth here and whatever." So I went up to the 5th floor. That's where labor and delivery was. So I waited and waited because there were no rooms available at the moment. Some doctors saw me and took my vital signs and everything, and I just put my things away, got into a bed, got into the whatever clothing they give you at the hospital, that thing, and then I went to the room. But all of this happened like an hour and a half. I didn't get to the room like that quick as I'm telling you guys. It took about an hour and a half. So I went to my room. I saw my doctor, the one that I've seen throughout my end of the pregnancy since I changed from my doctor, the one I had before, to that one. So I saw him, and he was like, "Okay, so your water broke, you're here, we're just gonna do everything the way we were gonna do it, on that day you were gonna be induced. It's just 1 day earlier because your water broke. You're already here." So I was like, "Okay." He was like, we're gonna put 3 milliliters of Pitocin to go down in an hour, just that little, because they can't put more than that on me since I was gonna be a VBAC and I had my previous C-section, and they couldn't put more Pitocin on me. So I was like, "Okay, no problem." I was like, "I'm gonna be here forever because this thing is not gonna do nothing on me." 3, that's 3. Okay, so anyways, I kind of got cut off on the camera because I ran out of battery, so I had to charge it and wait. Anyways, so I was talking about the Pitocin. I only got 3 milliliters of Pitocin on me going down in an hour. That's all I could have get because I had a C-section, and if they put more on me, the uterus was going to contract more, and I had more chances of rupture. So, anyways, so I got the Pitocin. That was about 4:30 in the afternoon that Wednesday, the 15th of February, and okay, I'm thinking. Okay, guys. So sorry. Continuing. My camera just broke down on me with no battery. Also wanted to tell you guys, I'm sorry if you can see like my dark, like my circles or whatever. It's just been terrible. Obviously, I have the baby and I'm getting little sleep. So, anyways, so the doctor put Pitocin on me. That was about 4:30 Wednesday, February 15th. And I just laid back, chilled, and I was like, this is going to be a long day because these 3 milliliters of Pitocin, like going down in an hour, that's like 3 drops in an hour, are not going to do nothing. So that's what I thought, but I was like, hour and a half later, my body started reacting by itself and started going on, and contractions started coming about half hour, and they then started coming 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So they took Pitocin off like about 6. It was probably about 6:30, and my body kept going till about probably 10 o'clock. They were 10 minutes apart. 10 o'clock at night that day, Wednesday still. And then they 10 minutes apart, 11 passed by, 12 passed by. It was already February 16th. It was already that morning of Thursday, and contractions were already 5 minutes apart. To all of this, I was with my doula, and my husband was not there with me. He had to go back home and be with my other son because we had no one to babysit. So he wasn't with me, and the pain was terrible. Like contractions 5 minutes apart, like the real thing, and like starting with Pitocin, that they're obviously stronger than if they would have come naturally, by my body. They were painful, and I couldn't get nothing for the pain because I was a VBAC. I couldn't have no medication whatsoever. It was terrible. I tried to sleep through the contractions, and I couldn't. There was a point where I started crying, really. And plus, my husband wasn't with me, so that was that pain plus the other pain, and I was feeling exhausted. I was already frustrated. 3 o'clock in the morning passed. 4 o'clock, I talked to my husband. I was in excruciating pain, and the contractions were 3 minutes apart already. I could barely get a chance to like breathe, I talked to my husband, and he was like, well, I'm gonna go in the morning as soon as it's daytime because I have no one to leave the baby with, my son, my 4-year-old. So I was like, okay, and I was like screaming in pain, because contractions were already a minute apart, like no minutes apart, really. I had no break. Um, it was painful. I was going crazy. Doctor checked me. Well, before that, they had checked me. I was only 2 centimeters dilated. Um, so by the time my husband got back, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. They checked me for last time, and I was 3 centimeters dilated, and I didn't know what to do. The pain was terrible. I was screaming. I was having contractions like if I was fully dilated, like to push, and I wasn't dilated. Like, my body wasn't reacting as fast as I thought it was going to. And so the doctor told me that, have patience. You're going to dilate, but it's going to take time, probably another day. And I was like, what? No, I cannot be in this pain anymore without no medication. I'm going crazy, like, it was painful. I couldn't take it anymore. So as soon as my husband got there, my doula went out. And I talked to my husband. I told him, look, I've been, in contractions. I can't take it anymore. It's painful. I can't have you like here and there going to, to the house. It's like 1 hour and 10 minutes away. My son, I have no one to, watch him. I'm going for the C-section, At that point, I was in so much pain that I didn't really care about, my VBAC. I forgot. I was like, forget it. I don't care. But, I would have wanted, obviously, to have a natural birth, but I was in too much pain. My back was killing me, and, the baby, I had a lot of pressure down there. So my husband was like, okay. We went for the C-section. They prepared me. That took about an hour and a half. They put the epidural in and everything. As soon as I got to the operating room, and I really don't remember much in the room. Just them putting the epidural in, and they announcing the time when my baby was born, 9:07, and he asked me if I wanted to get my tubes tied, and I said no. At that point, I was in so much pain that I really wanted my tubes tied, but thank God I was like in the epidural world, and I said no because I didn't want to. I at least want one more. So, anyways, my baby was born on Thursday, 9:07 a.m., February 16th. He weighed 8 pounds, 10 ounces. That's an almost 9-pound baby. And I don't remember nothing, just me being in the room hours later, because I can't even remember what time it was. I don't remember. My husband couldn't be with me at the C-section because everything happened so quick, and they took out the baby like in 15 minutes, really, because my husband told me, and he took pictures of the baby as soon as the baby was born. So after that, he just went to the nursery. I didn't see him. I saw him that day at night, like at 9 or 10, and I didn't want for him to get formula, but they gave him formula, obviously, because I was like in, away with the epidural and everything. So the day after, I started breastfeeding, and that's another story. So anyways, I think this is pretty much my labor and delivery story. You guys let me know if you have any questions, if I left anything out. Let me know. And let me know if you want to know anything else. Any questions, comments, remember you can comment below. Please rate my video if you like it, if not, too. Thank you guys for the support. All the people, all my friends that wrote on my Facebook fan page, on my Facebook personal page, or on my YouTube, that I know you guys were like asking where I was, but everything happened so quick. My water broke and I could not get back from my appointment, so obviously I couldn't update you guys. So thank you guys for support, and thanks so much for watching as always, and God bless. Bye bye.